What's up, you all? In the as requested, Miss Morissette Amon versus Nicole Scherzinger vocal battle G4 to A5 sharp. Let's get it. You know, these comparisons be kicking my butt. But, I ain't no vocal coach, but I can sing. Praise God. Sing. Sing. Okay. Morissette, I don't know what that Nicole clip was. That was not a great clip. Oh, that mix is perfect. Also an incredible mix. I say technically that's a tie. Both the balance of both mixes were perfect, but my personal bias would be for Nicole. She's got a slightly heavier voice, I would say, just naturally, and I prefer her heaviness, her slightly heavier tone there. But technically, they were both neck and neck for me. And keep in mind that I try to factor in as best as I can the difference between audio qualities, because I mean, quite a bit of these, certain clips are clearly older and the audio isn't as good. Then a crystal clear clip of the other will come in, and then I try to factor in too the echo from the mics, the reverb from the mics. So I'm doing the quality of the notes, not necessarily which one is just straight up louder because of clear audio differences. But so yeah, I try to do the quality of the belts, and the mix is what I'm really looking for here. Okay. Morissette. I mean, that perfect mix in the vibrato. I mean, that consistent vibrato, and just the amount of time she sustained it, the quality of it was excellent. Ooh. Ooh. Horrible clip, but great mix. Ooh. Ooh. Sustain it. See, that's a good example of what I'm talking about. The clip of Nicole's wasn't nearly as good, audibly or visually. The quality of difference. So it's hard to hear Nicole, but the belts themselves, for me, were a straight up tie. The quality of the belts, the mix of them both were excellent. The only difference was, other than the quality clip, Morissette sustained hers for longer. So yeah, I mean, for me, as far as the quality of the mix, it's a tie. But like I said, she sustained it longer, so I'll leave that up to y'all. Ooh, that was great. Ooh, see, resonance. Sustained it. Morissette, resonance, and it didn't come full on until it sort of waited a minute. It didn't come right away, but it's the longer she sustained it, you could kind of hear that perfect place when she finally hit the sweet spot. It's what I call it. That you hit that sweet spot when everything is just aligned perfectly in your throat, where you get that resonant ring. And she, after a while, I mean, I got that incredible balance. Sing. I remember this. Ooh. Ooh. See, I mean, Nicole obviously didn't have that reverb on her mic that Morissette had, because it was a different setting. She was just a judge, so the mic was different. So there is a sense of more resonance on Morissette's in that clip. But I will say Nicole's Hers is noticeably more. Her belts are more chesty at this point. You know what I mean? She definitely has more of a gut like approach, more of a chest heavy mix so far. Morissette's mix again more balanced, just a perfect balance of chest and head. And I mean it's for me though Nicole's was in by no means strained or any tension as of yet, so she can get away with that chestier mix here. And I do love a good chest mix. Y'all know this by now. I love a chesty mix as long as it ain't tension and strain and struggled. So I mean, for me, that's I guess technically speaking, the more balanced mix, Morissette technically would just win it simply because it's a better balance. But I do really like Nicole's chest here. Not in that way. Okay. Morissette, and then that more chest bias mix, and then the way she transitioned into that head bias mix. The way she did that was just masterful too. Ooh, there's a little bit of tension on that soon after the initial belt. Very chest bias again. Morissette, the perfect balance mix. Ooh. Ooh. I like that. Oh. Oh. Look. This is. Can I call the tie? Because again, it goes back to the chest heavy mix versus the perfectly balanced mix, but there was no tension on either, so Nicole could get away with that. I actually prefer the chestier mix of Nicole's there. I do. It's just the sense of the sharpness, the sense of clarity. Even though they're both crystal clear, I can't really say that, but I just prefer the heavier, more potent, just punch of Nicole's there. But technically speaking, again, Morissette's balance was perfect. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, eventually, yeah. I'll just keep it at that. I'll let y'all decide, because, yeah. Ooh, in the melisma at the end, that was so pretty. How she reeled that in and it got soft. That volume control, Morissette for me there. Although I love Nicole's again chestier, more powerful mix, but it didn't have like that resonance and that freedom that Morissette's had. You can hear that Morissette. You could tell that she could have sustained that note forever. You know what I mean, with ease and just, yeah, I mean, just know it's like the sky is the limit with a perfect balance like that, a perfect balanced mix. Yeah. Sustain. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, Morissette for me with a good placement and that aggressive yet consistent vibrato. I mean but I did enjoy Nicole's too, but it wasn't like that. it just wasn't. I mean, Nicole sustained it forever. Again, very chesty, still this high up, very chest biased. I'm wondering if she's ever gonna switch Nicole, if she's ever gonna, switch, or she's just gonna stay full chest, like almost full chest. Let me hear that again. Okay. Morissette. For obvious reasons. Okay, forced. But I don't know. Maybe that's the style she was going for. It sounded like a edgy song, but it was definitely forced. See, I mean, it's bright. It's still bright. It's no tension, no sounds of tension. It's still just bright, and it's an open sound, and just a freer sound. Just again the balance. Ooh, tension, but beautiful. Bright, brightness. That's all that came to my mind. The difference is the brightness and the ease, and again, no tension. You know, tension, but it sounds good. Sustainable. You know, sustain. But that was monstrous, though. I mean, tension, but Nicole be pushing that joint out, and still this high is such a chest heavy. These chest heavy belts. I'm kind of impressed that she can still keep going this high with just brute force forcing it. But it sure does sound explosive. I'll give her that. It sounds powerful. But, you know, it's just not very sustainable. I mean, sustain! Come on. Oh, Morissette. Much healthier Morissette again. But I have just the savagery of Nicole's. That reminded me of a Christina Aguilera type thing. The way she just brute force, chest heavy belting these notes out. I kind of like it, but Morissette for the balance mix. That's her trump card. I mean, that mix is her trump card. Come on! Still brute force chested it. The brightness. What? Where's the key? Not crazy about both of them leading up to the actual note. I guess I give it to Morissette. I have no idea what key Nicole was in. I barely know what key the background singers were in. That just sound. Let me listen to that again. It just sounded all wrong. Okay, she at least hit the right key, so I get that to Morissette. Both of them are forcing in that clip on their clips. That's savage. I gotta admit. Ooh. Come on, distortion at the end. I'm actually getting that last one to Nicole. She sustained it for a little bit longer, and she did the run thing. Everything she was doing was dope. I'm shocked she could do that high up there. Definitely Nicole there, man. For me, Morissette again, again wins the majority, particularly after D5 and up. D5 and up, it started to get Morissette for me started to dominate. It's just that mix, that perfect balanced mix, consistent throughout. Nicole, her chest dominant mix, her belts were doing where I really liked them up until about D5, where it started to get, you started to see tension, noticeable. You start to hear noticeable tension, and you started to hear that the power was sort of actually. Now that I'm thinking of it, in certain clips, she did brute force quite a bit, quite a few powerful notes up in the higher register. Mad tension, yes. Strain, yes, but she still kept up the volume, I would say. But again, it's just not healthy. And then she doesn't have that. She didn't have that resonance, that echoey effect that Morissette's higher belt had, and just that freedom and that just that brightness Morissette has when she just goes up and up and up. It doesn't thin with Morissette. None of that thinning, none of that tension, except for the last few notes, I would say, both of them. But I mean, that's ridiculously high at that point. I mean, what can you expect? But yeah, I mean, but I do prefer some of Nicole's just straight punch, chest heavy, just forcing it out. Because, I like volume. I like fullness. I like fullness. Not necessarily volume, but just fullness. I like the fullness. And Nicole's voice is naturally heavier. And just a little, I would say, it's slightly darker than Morris says. Nicole's slightly darker. So there are certain notes where I'm just biased towards Nicole Scherzinger, but overall, definitely Morris says balanced mix. It just takes it. I mean, you can't beat a perfectly balanced mix. I mean, you can't just brute power past it. I mean, then the resonance that a balanced mix makes is just mind blowing to me, and the consistency and the health. I mean, the sustainability and just the ease, and it helps with the stamina and just I mean, you can't beat a balanced mix. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and please continue to report your favorites. Peace.